startups, SMEs, but we are actually trying to solve this problem by letting them having a much easier onboarding process and more competitive fee.
Awesome. And also, like Donnie's company, Omise, just raised about 17.5 million in Series B a couple of days ago. So congratulations, Donnie. Next up, Francois from Visa. So we all know like Visa is quite a all of us know it as like that logo that appears on our credit cards. Do you want to like tell us what you're doing at Visa and what problems you're solving?
Yeah, thank you very much. So my name is Francois Ribovsek and I'm heading up emerging product innovation at Visa. So basically the problem we're solving is we want to be the best way to pay and to be paid, and we want to make sure basically we provide the optimum and the most convenient way to pay, whether this is offline at point of sale or online. And in order to do this, basically we come up with solutions like Visa PayWave, for instance, which is a contactless solution, or Visa Checkout, which is a better experience to pay online. But I think as far as you would want to know, we also basically try and work on the value chain, on the payment value chain, and see how we can work with the fintech community to improve everything from the time you actually apply from a card to the loyalty maybe that happens after the transaction itself, right? So in order to do that, we make basically our capabilities available to you through APIs. And so basically that's what we do, and that's why I'm very excited to be here and talk to you today.
Gotcha. And you just mentioned, speaking of APIs, you guys just launched your Open API platform in February, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct. So there is a few initiatives that we have had this year. I think the first one is that we've unveiled the Visa Developer Platform that was back in February. And basically this Visa Development Platform is for you to actually access our capabilities through APIs, right? So it's just go and check it online. You'll see we have like hundreds of APIs that can help either for the payment transaction or the risk or all sort of added functionalities that come around payment. It doesn't have to be the payment itself. And I think another exciting initiative is the opening of the Visa Design Lab that basically we opened this innovation center a couple of months back in Singapore. And this is basically a place where we want to actually invite our clients, and our clients are the banks, but also the fintech, and be able to create basically user experience together, prototype, either using our capabilities, which is our APIs, or using your capabilities, and see how we can basically provide better user experience for the end consumers. So those are actually two exciting developments on our side in the next 6 months. And actually now when we refer to our clients, we used to refer to our clients, the banks used to be our clients. We used to be like a bank association. But our clients now go well beyond the banks, right? And that's why we're very excited to work with the fintech community.
Awesome. And next up we've got Punnamas. He's the CEO of SN Corp, and they own about 8 companies across 6 countries?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm the Punnamas, the CEO of SN Group. We operate the True Money, which is the e-money in Southeast Asia. We operate across 6 countries. The problem we try to solve is that we want to enable every single human beings and businesses in Southeast Asia to have access to financial services. So what's take banks about 200 years to cover about 20 to 30%. We want to do that within about the next 20 years. So we do that through e-wallet for digital consumers, and we do it through agent banking for underbanked populations. Our business goal is to have to about 100 million users by the end of 2020. So I think we're on a good path for that. And today we operate largely payment services, and in the future it will be lending, the investment, and other insurance products.
Awesome. And you were like talking to me about how you guys are helping the unbanked and the underbanked, and you were telling me that your thing is to become like 10 times as big as the biggest bank in the country.
That's for the agent network, right? I mean, we cooperate with the bank a lot. But in terms of the interesting part is that with 680 million people approximately in Southeast Asia, only about 20 to 30% have access to banking services. So we want to enable the other 70-80%, and plus more with innovative financial services.
Awesome. And Michael.
Yes.
Awesome. Do you like to talk about yourself?
Sure.
Actually, I
sure.
just got to know that you got
Sure.
added on my panel.
Well, my schedule was kind of moved around, so thank you for allowing me to join. But I mean, BuzzEV, we are a loyalty platform, and it's like, well, loyalty, what's got to do with financial? And me and Francois, we just had a nice little chat before about this. So, and just like Punnamas mentioned, 20-30% of across Southeast Asia is only banked, the rest is unbanked. So that is a huge opportunity for payment for those groups. Now, the challenge is obviously, you know, the only reason banking works today is because people like Visa and MasterCard, they're able to create a virtual network that allows you to take a physical card and make payment. It doesn't matter which country you're in, and it automatically converts to your local currency, and everything happens nice and smooth, and it just magically happens. Even the people I work with, I talk to inside MasterCard pages don't even know how this magical solution works. It just works. All right. So the reality is that when you approach an unbanked population through the traditional of banking population, it doesn't work because the infrastructure doesn't exist. So when you talk about loyalty in a different direction, you all of a sudden think, well, if I can make loyalty connected to every brand and every consumer, every single big brand wants to connect with the consumer. That's a given. So which example I always say is my largest customer, which customer like Samsung doesn't want to talk to the consumer day to day? You know, they want to make sure that your next phone you buy is Samsung, not Xiaomi or Apple. So that is obviously for every big brand, whether you're insurance, gas, you know, banks, everybody wants that. So what we do is we approach the payment solution through the loyalty side and add on top of that both loyalty and payment. By doing that, you create a new infrastructure, a new network of digital-enabled businesses that could potentially take payment. That could potentially then solve your unbanked population problem at the same time.
Gotcha. And do you work with any of these guys on the panel, or do you like compete with some of them? How does this work?
Yeah, I do. I do work with some of them. I work quite closely with Punnamas and hopefully with Visa in the future. But the payment gateway side, not so much. But we were just talking about see how we can work with Visa as well. Yeah.
Okay. And Shankar was basically running FastaCash. He founded FastaCash, and now you know, he's running Active AI. So what kind of problem are you solving with Active AI now?
All right, interesting problem. So if you look at the technology cusps which have happened over the past, one was internet banking or internet payment, and then came the mobile banking and mobile payment. Now I believe we are in the cusp of conversational banking, conversational payment. What I mean is unstructured data and having conversation with the infrastructure or a bank in a very unstructured manner, and that's the problem we're solving. So if you want to get something done, you know what you want, but you don't need to go through a structured path. You can just ask the question and you get the response and complete the transaction. And that is the problem you're trying to solve, and that's the platform I'm building in Active AI.
Gotcha. So you guys work with banks or like payments providers, or?
Yes, we primarily right now working with banks. We are enabling banks because what we have is a stack on top of several AI engines and connected to the financial services. And e-commerce and commerce is the next step. And yes, I was just talking to Omis, seeing how to build a partnership with different payment companies to enable transactions.
That's awesome. And speaking of AI, so chatbots are becoming like quite popular across like different industries. And I was just talking to Donnie earlier, and Donnie, you were telling me that like, you know, AI was something that you guys apply at Omise as well. You want to tell us how you do that?
Yeah, so we apply AI to real-time fraud and risk management. So we basically have data scientists and machine learning in-house. So we basically analyze data and try to minimize the fraud. Yeah.
Awesome. Does anyone else here like use AI as well?
Let's talk about AI a bit. AI is nothing but so you have several AI platforms and it's going to be evolving, right? It's nothing but a mathematical algorithms. So how do you create vertical user base, as well as vertical use cases on that mathematical problem? And that's what we are addressing. We're saying we're focused on financial services and verticalizing financial services using AI engines. So in case of bots is that like in the front is a distribution channel, so you can use bots in any channel, right?
Okay.
So tomorrow you're going to have Alexa, and you can just talk to Alexa and say, "What's my balance?" or say, "I want to buy my XYZ product." you know exactly what you want, but the heavy lifting is going to be done by the AI engine. It exactly knows what it needs to do and comes back with the right results. But it's very narrow financial services focus. That's what I do.
That's awesome. Can't wait for you guys to launch. You got something to add, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, because we're not doing payment, but we do transaction in terms for loyalty side. So we process around 2 million user behaviors every 30 minutes, and we have around 200 million